Hi, thanks again for tuning in to Sin's Workshop. Today we're going to be talking about Seventh Son by Lani Forbes, published by Blackstone Publishing. This novel has been labeled a young adult fantasy retelling, not fantasy retelling, sorry. It's young adult fantasy incorporating Aztec and Mayan mythology. I have to say I had mixed feelings about this book. I gave it 3 stars. The whole reason is because I think I made a mistake listening to the audiobook version. I listen to audiobooks because I do have a 7-month-old child, so reading an actual book isn't always an available option to me. So I've started listening to audiobooks, and I think I made a mistake with that, and this is why. The female characters in this novel are so whiny. It drives me nuts. I can't stand them. I mean, they're just like, oh, I don't want, like that. They sound like that. You think I'm kidding? I mean, don't waste any of your Audible credits on this book. If you want to see what I'm talking about, check out the audiobook from your local library. They have audio clips available from the digital catalog. Or if it becomes available on Scribd, if you have a Scribd membership, check it out if you want to see what I'm talking about. But the female characters sound incredibly whiny. And I think that was probably a mistake. That's my cat sniffles. But I think it was a mistake to listen to this audiobook because they just drove me nuts. I just couldn't stand them as characters. Because all they're doing is, especially Mayana. Oh my god, Mayana. And then her friend, her healer friend. They are just the worst. They are so annoying. All they do is whine. And I can't stand them. So it really makes it hard for me to connect to the characters. I think it'd be better if you were to read this book, like actual read it either as an ebook or as, a traditional tradeback or hardback. Because then at least you're hearing them in your head and you make the characters sound the way you want them to sound. Yes, are they complaining, but they don't have to sound so whiny as you're complaining. Because a lot of what they're complaining about, it's not like it's blown out of proportion. Mayana complains because she doesn't believe in the sacrifices. And she's right not to. So she doesn't want to do sacrifices, but everyone around her is forcing her to. Because this is their culture. But she has this question like, is it really her culture? Are these the teachings of the gods? Is this really what they want? She has these questions because a lot of things don't match up. So I will say this about her characterization. At least she is thoughtful. She takes things apart. She analyzes them to see if they're really relatable, to see if they're believable. So for that, I have to give her props. And then her other friend, yes, it's also understandable why she complains a lot. She's the healer. All these girls, they're brought together because the king has died, so now the new king, Prince Akin, has to choose a new bride. The ones that don't get picked get sacrificed. So they are trying, they don't want to die. So again, it's understandable why they have these frustrations and why they feel like their life is so unfair and why they're venting them out. It's completely understandable, except I couldn't stand the actresses that they got. I couldn't stand how whiny they were in the audiobook. So I think I made a mistake there. So I have to say I don't recommend the audiobook at all. I say make the time to read this novel. And I think maybe if I had read it as a tradeback or as a tradeback, I probably would have appreciated it more. I think I would have liked it a little bit more because Mayana at times is a very strong character. And I say at times because there are times where she seems like a Mary Sue character. You know, she doesn't seem real. She says, oh, so perfect. She's right about everything, blah, blah, blah. You know, I didn't find that believable. And then the whole girl versus girl dynamic. Yes, once again, it is understandable why they would be at each other's throats because no one wants to die. Once again, completely understandable. My issue with it is it seemed very cliche Mean Girl. But it didn't have that. It wasn't sardonic. It was very just a cliche Mean Girl trope that the author was exploring to give tension between the girls. Yeah, you had the few girls that stuck together. You know, the Fire Princess, I thought she was great. I loved her tone, I loved her narrative. She was funny, she was spunky. She's everything I would have loved. Mayana just seems too perfect, you know, which is probably why I have this disconnect. And also the whining thing. Probably why there's this disconnect between me and her. The Healing Princess, she's very meek. She's very also whiny, a very submissive character, which is probably another reason why I wasn't able to really connect with her a lot. You know, I wish there'd been more of the Fire Princess in the novel. Even the Beast Princess, you know, she's probably like the head mean girl, but she's not really mean. But when they're all together, it seems just like this mishmash of a mean girl trope that is full of cliches and doesn't really give a lot to the dynamics of the characters. Yeah, it offers the, you know, reader some look into their powers because, you know, they go at each other, they use their magic, and their magic is their blood. You know, they can only call upon their magic if they spill a little blood, which, you know, blood is life force. Their magic is their life force. You know, their magic is theirs because of an ancient ancestor who used their magic to sacrifice themselves and save everyone from an oncoming apocalypse. So I think it's okay. It's an okay novel. I really did like the scenes between Mayana and Prince Hakeem. I think we really got to know both of them when they're together. They do make a really good duo. And I think these are the moments where we really get to see Mayana as a person, you know, because she is doing things. It's easy to see why the prince would fall for her, because she's showing that she cares, you know. She asks him questions like, how are you? Are you okay? You know, and she's not doing it for any other reason other than to be a kind person. So, and then him, when he's with her, I think we get to see another side of him that's not just the prince, you know. We get to see, I personally think, a thoughtful side of him. And I like when they're together. There's a lot of pushback, but there's also some tension because to be the queen, you have to be willing to do the sacrifices. And she falls in love with this boy, and she wants to be his queen, but he's falling in love with this person he thinks she is. Yes, he's falling in love with a part of her that's real, but he's also falling for her because he thinks she is this person who's as devout as his mother was, who, as the ritual calls, once her husband dies, you know, she has to kill herself and join him in the afterlife. But she's not. So there's a lot of tension there because she's lying to him. She's lying about who she really is. So there's some good tension in their dynamic. There's some good development in their dynamic. So that's something, you know, that I did like between their relationships. Last sip. So, you know, the pacing of the story was good. It does move at a very steady pace. It does develop. It does, you know, create lots of tension and allows for plot twists to sneak in. unsuspecting. Like some of those plot twists I didn't see coming, and I was like, what? So there's definitely a lot of good story development. And that last chapter, you know, those last couple of chapters I thought were very well done. You know, the pacing is just like bam, 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 bam. And it leaves off on a great cliffhanger. So that ending itself has made me eager to see where the story is going to go from here. And the fact that it's Prince Hakeem and Mayana together, you know, they have to sort of unravel so many mysteries together and, you know, divert another apocalypse. It does create a lot of tension, and it does make me eager for the sequel. But I think for the sequel, I'm probably not going to listen to the audiobook unless I have no other choice. It's just really, once again, I have a 7-month-old child. It makes it hard to like read. You know, I get to do most of my reading late at night or when he's like taking a nap. But you know, I have other things to do. I gotta cook dinner and clean. You know, be that traditional housewife while I have no job. So it's just take my advice. It's a good novel. It is. But the mistake is the audiobook. I think the direction of the audiobook, I think the production and the acting of it, it missed something. I think the actresses, the voice actresses, they didn't do a good job bringing these characters to life, because they created this disconnect. They created this, half the time I wanted to be like, I don't want to hear you whine anymore. So I think it would have been better if I had been reading the novel myself, because then I get to choose how I hear the characters. You get to choose how you hear the characters when you're reading a novel. So when the sequel comes out, I will be reading the sequel, because for the most part I did like the novel. I did appreciate the Aztec and Mayan mythology, folklore that was brought into this novel, especially since, you know, I'm 100% Mexican with, you know, Aztec roots. Yay! So I think bringing that into the story, I think developing a story from all that, you know, mythology, all that mysticism and folklore, I thought it was really good. I appreciated it. I loved the way the magic worked in the story. I loved how there were different sorts of magic and how it reflected who these princesses were. So the Storm Princess too, she was really cool. I think the Storm Princess and the Fire Princess are probably my favorites. Mine tied for number 1, followed by the Beast Princess. Isn't that sad? I like everyone except for the main character. But once again, I think that's more because of the audiobook production of it. So, good book. 3 solid stars. Once again, The Seventh Son by Lani Forbes, published by Blackstone Publishing. Do yourselves a favor. Check out this book. Read it. Do not listen to it. I really do think everyone will appreciate the novel much more if they're reading it. So remember, check out from your library's digital catalog, or, you know, allergies. Or if money's not too tight, purchase the book from your local bookseller. Please remember to support your local bookseller and not just go straight to Amazon. You know, Amazon's, they got enough business. It's the bookstores that need the business more. So once again, this is The Seventh Son by Lani Forbes. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and as always, happy reading.